on the next episode of Sips, Suds, and Smokes.
Today is the best of. I still can't believe that we're in like the end of the year. Anyways, as we come to the end of our 10th season.
Wow.
10th.
Wow.
10th.
A decade.
Decade of decadence.
Wow. Can you believe it's really been 10?
It's X in Roman numerals, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's a big letter.
Yeah.
Just saying. We want to look back and discuss some of our favorite beers, beer styles, breweries, events, shared moments, things. So we're going to go around the table now, and each host is going to talk about a favorite from this year. And we're going to have some beers on hand to drink while we are talking about those great things.
We'll be right back after this break. Brought to you almost live from the Dude in the Basement Studios. Why? Because that's where the good stuff is. It's Sips, Suds, and Smokes with your smoking hosts, the good old boys. Suds, Suds, Suds. It's time for more Suds.
Hello there. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is a Suds segment, for those of you not sure what you tuned into, where we discuss the good things in life, 12 to 16 ounces at a time. I'm one of your hosts, good old Gal Juliana, and joining me today at the table is good old Boy Kendall.
Hello. It's a pleasure to be here. This is one of my favorite days of the year is when we talk about these things.
These things, which we'll get to these things in just a minute. Good old Boy Sparky. Hello.
Hey, thank you guys for recognizing Festivus for the first time. I really appreciate that.
Thanks for bringing up Festivus for the rest of us.
It's true. I've made a donation to you and the Human Foundation. Money for people.
I do have a bare aluminum pole that I put in my yard on December 23rd.
Feats of strength. Let's go.
Let's go.
Do it.
Aw, that's so sweet. Look at the love here. Good old boy Sean. Hi.
Bah humbug.
That's right.
And the realism just showed.
That's right.
Good to be back as always.
Good old boy Dave.
I am all that is man.
You're cute.
I know. That's true. That's damn true.
Well, I'm good old Gal Juliana, and as we come to the end of our 10th season.
Wow.
10th. Wow.
10th.
A decade.
Decade of decadence.
Wow. Can you believe it's really been 10?
It's X in Roman numerals, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's a big letter.
Yeah.
Just saying. We want to look back and discuss some of our favorite beers, beer styles, breweries, events, shared moments, things.
But before we get to the best things of the year, we need to stop and acknowledge the worst thing. On October 4th, we lost good old boy Caperton. Dave was taken from the world too soon. He was a big dude with an even bigger heart. He had many loves, his family, his friends, books, music, the outdoors, and of course, home brewing and craft beer. Saison was his favorite style, and from now on, I don't think any of us will ever try a new Saison without wondering, what would Caperton think of this? So everyone, please raise a glass of whatever you're drinking right now and drink a toast to good old boy Caperton, whose voice at this table will always be missed.
Here, here. Cheers.
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers to you, dude.
Do yourself a favor. Find some music you love and turn it up loud.
Yes.
Yeah.
He would want that.
Oh, he totally would.
Then
Yes.
go kill some kudzu.
Whack it.
Yeah.
Whack it to death.
Abate
yes. Yes, abate it.
Masterly.
Okay. So we're going to go around the table now, and each host is going to talk about a favorite from this year. A beer, a style, event, whatever. And we're going to have some beers on hand to drink while we are talking about those great things. But first, good old boy Sean, why don't you give us the SUDS ratings for today?
Alrighty, we'll be discussing and rating these beers with SUDS ratings, plus our signature belching sounds. Here are those ratings now. Number 1, that sucks. Give me anything but a bud. Number 2, was that a belch? Number 3, what a relief.
I can feel that relief, by the way.
There's more coming from this way. Alrighty, number 4, a body should really not make that sound.
Ooh, she's stuck.
Oh boy.
Let it out.
Come on.
There we go. She was broke.
All of
but I
that build
fixed
up.
her.
And number 5, listen to that hang time. Give me another.
That one came through for us.
Of course it did. Well, thank you. All right. Well, let's get into it. Good old boy Kendall, since you are here, please
Yeah,
start
I'd be
us
happy
off.
to. Do you want to talk about this beer you served us first, though, or
Oh,
you want to wait?
Well, no, I mean, okay, yeah. I'll talk about it for a second.
It's
it
really
just
nice.
was we did a brewery takeover of Lone Oak Farm from Maryland and from Olney, Maryland, as a matter of fact. Really beautiful place. And what we're drinking is the Lone Oak Lager. It's a light American lager, 4.2% ABV. Just really nice and easy. And I thought that would be a nice way to just start the day.
It is.
It was a
Yeah.
nice, tasty start.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice. Good
So
job, buddy.
if we were going to rate this, we'd say maybe a 4. We're going to rate it a 4. Yes.
Oh, that's a good start.
Yep. All right. Now, good old boy Kendall.
All right. Well, I've passed everybody a beer I poured. You know, it's not my favorite beer of the year, but it's one of my favorite new breweries of the year. This is Soul and Spirits. I think they might have opened in 2021, but they're pretty new brewery in Memphis. If you ever pass through Memphis, stop. They're just a few mile or so north of downtown. And a great brewer, making a lot of different styles. His lagers are just spot on. I really enjoyed them. The pales and the IPAs and everything I tried was really good as well. So, yeah, if you're just passing through Memphis, make sure you stop at Soul and Spirits. And there's a lot of other great breweries in Memphis. It's turned into quite the beer town. It didn't used to be.
Yeah, it has, hasn't it?
So, sorry, I was a little distracted by my beer. But what I wanted to talk about today is my favorite thing of the year in beer was I finally got to cross 2 things in my bucket list on the same day.
Wow.
I was in Denver during GABF week.
Nice.
I did not attend GABF, which might be the best way to go to Denver
Yeah,
during
That is
GABF.
correct.
Yeah.
That is exactly right.
I mean, everybody should go to GABF once, but I've done it several times, and it's like, okay, that was fun. I don't need to do that again. It's a massive beer festival, but the best part is everything in Denver is
All the
really
peripheral.
cool. There's
All the beer
a
bars in
lot of
town
good
are-
stuff.
yeah.
So I was in Denver a couple days before GABF even started. And one afternoon, I found my way to 2 breweries that are serving beer in very traditional ways. And that would be Bierstadt's Slow Pour Pills and Hogshead's Cask ESB. Holy cow. I can't tell you how much those beers just how affected me and just how wonderful that was. Both
Yeah.
of those breweries are doing very classic styles, one English, one German. Slow pour pills take 6 or 7 minutes to get, and it makes that beer delicious. It knocks down the carbonation. You really get to experience a lot more of the beer. And you could kind of say the same thing about cask ale. You don't have all that carbonation. And
Yeah.
I never thought I really enjoyed cask beer because I've never had good cask beer. And I've always heard people say that the best cask beer outside of England itself is probably going to be Hogshead in Denver.
I would say that's a very good bet.
Yeah.
And it was the most amazing bitter I've ever had. I just savored that beer for about 45 minutes, slowly working on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that same day, had beer poured traditionally, English and German styles in Denver. And if you ever get to Denver, they're only maybe a 10-minute ride from each other. You can hit both in the same afternoon. And a lot of great beer in Denver. But that experience of traditional pill service and traditional cask bitter service was phenomenal.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, and beer set their glasses are just gorgeous, deco, beautiful. And then Hogshead, from the outside, it's so unassuming.
Oh right,
you know.
And it's funny. I've been to Denver a lot, at least a dozen times in the last 10 years, and somehow I've never made it by either of these breweries, and so I made it a point to do it this time. And
yeah, we went to
was
Hogshead
excited.
a few years ago, and we actually covered a couple of their beers in a show this season. And as far as English style ales, I mean,
They are spot on.
So good. I ended up having a porter and another beer I can't remember, but they were phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like you can't go wrong by them at all. Yeah, there's never been a
Awesome.
bad beer that we've
Absolutely
had.
perfect pint.
Oh, that's really cool. Okay, so tell us about this
the
beer.
beer we're drinking. So this is one of the beers I picked up at Soul and Spirits in Memphis on Thanksgiving weekend. It's called Bring It Home. It's a premium lager, also known as a German-style Helles. So pretty much straight-up Helles, which I love. They're doing all the styles. In fact, a few of the trendy ones. Got to pay the light bills.
Yeah,
Got
sure.
to.
But he must have had on, I don't know, 18 different beers on tap. So whether you're a traditionalist or you're a trend chaser, he has something for you.
absolutely.
Nice.
Julie tried a couple of their beers at the Winter Warmer, and
Yeah.
that smoked beer that they had
Oh
was
my gosh.
outstanding.
It's a great
It really was. And they brought so much diversity to that fest. You know what I mean? I was so jazzed.
They're doing good stuff. Really cool to see what's happening there and in all of Memphis.
Yeah. I know.
What do you guys
it's
think
cool.
about this this beer from?
Memphis gonna Memphis, but no, this is really
This
tasty.
beer's
Really well
worth a
done.
good stabbing.
I mean, the argument about the Memphis beer scene is that their water source is not the Mississippi, which is most of the water sources in Tennessee, but it's the
artesian aquifer.
for the Memphis sands.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I've always been impressed with what's coming out of the Memphis scene, and this is another worthy contender.
Just a good, clean beer, man.
Very clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. And it's 4.9%. Heck. Could kick back
Drink
a lot of
lot
these.
of that, man.
Yeah.
So
Barbecue.
mostly going to find them in Memphis, and they are distributing at a few select locations in Nashville.
Cool.
Nice.
Well, that's another good reason to go to Memphis.
Yeah, right? Well, we'll be back in just a minute with more. Welcome back, everyone. Today is the best of. I still can't believe that we're in the end of the year. Anyways, we have been talking about good old boy Kendall's experiences this year, and the beer that he brought to share today was Bring It Home. It's a lager from Soul and Spirits in Memphis, Tennessee, and we are going to quickly rate this a 4.
Oh, it worked that time. Good. For sure.
All right, next up, good old boy Sparky. What do you got for us?
Well, so this has been a weird year for me because, one, I have really changed my beer buying habits or consumption over the last couple of years, and definitely this year for sure. So I've been cleaning out my cellar, and it's been kind of an exciting adventure. We had this huge remodel done to our downstairs, and so my wife finally realized how much beer I've been sitting on that she had no idea.
What?
You had what in this house? This whole time?
Yeah. So anyway, I've been so I've really been destroying my cellar, and then also Kendall talked me into getting a beer maker, which has just been so much fun this year. I've really enjoyed getting to brew beer and with that device, and Really recommend it. It's a lot of fun to, on small scale, brew some beer with. But so this was something that I pulled out of the cellar. And again, man, some things have just aged horribly. There's been some really things that were instant drain pours, and then some that turned out really well. So what I've got in front of you, so this is a Jester King SPON 4 from 2017, the February 13th blend. And so it's a blend of their 2014, 2015, and 2016 of spontaneously fermented, inspired by authentic Belgian Lambic, and he uses his crazy symbol. I remember, if you guys remember, there was that whole controversy because he couldn't call it Lambic, right? But he had his like American Lambic kind of thing. But I popped one of these a few days ago and just really enjoyed it. I think it's really going in some interesting directions. Yeah, and I mean, I love, unfortunately, a lot of the beers, there's been some like great stouts that I've gone back and revisited, and a lot of, you know, sours and lambics and stuff like that. Like a lot of the Embrace the Funk stuff that I like have been sitting on that actually has been really great. Most of it has turned out fantastic.
Yeah.
But man, there's just been some, there's been some drain
it's a crapshoot.
Yeah.
You know, it's always a crapshoot, dude.
Yeah.
You never know.
And not necessarily Yazoo, but just some of the other beers I sat on, I thought like maybe this turned out. No, it did not. It needed to go down. But this one turned out, I think, pretty well. What do you guys think?
This is a pleasure to drink.
This is an easy drinker. And you don't always say that about a Lambic, American or otherwise, you know.
Yeah.
But it's smooth, and there's no bite, and it's just
I'm getting like not only wine notes but some apple notes that are very pleasant.
you really can enjoy the fruit in it, you know, because it's not over the top.
I always get a little bit of that kind of thing you get out of funky cheesiness. And you know that a lot of these have aged hops in them, and that brings a type of acid that can contribute to that. And I always pick that up in these old lambics, and these beers go so well with good funky cheeses. Like, give me a chunk of blue cheese right now to kill this bottle with, and I'd be happy.
Cool.
Oh, yeah. Is there any fruit in this?
No, but I mean, I'm definitely picking up some stone fruit notes out of it. I mean, there's some serious, which I love. I mean, I'm a stone fruit whore, but
No, like,
Who isn't?
nobody I want to associate with.
Such a whore. He is, yeah.
no, I'm like, because I'm getting like almost peachiness on this. And
I
I'm
mean,
like,
it's
where is
just a
this coming from?
spontaneously fermented, you know, from
Just
the
those
Texas
yeast
Hill
notes.
Country.
Yeah.
You know, just like a lot of lambics, you know, you kind of pick those things up, which is why when they do end up using, you know, some, you know, secondary fermentation with stone fruits, it always like goes to the next level. But yeah, this is just straight up plain old spontaneously fermented in the
beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I bought this out. I thought it was one of the things that was not a disaster that I had to.
This is really nice. Yeah. No, thank you.
You make a great point, though. I have quit buying a lot of beer to cellar way because during the pandemic, I drank down my cellar and half of it was garbage. So I've just stopped buying beer to put away.
Now, the good news is I found that a lot of it was great at like cleaning out stains and other things in my pipes and sinks.
Nice.
I mean, it's vinegar
Yeah.
right at that point.
It is. So it does a great job with that. Yeah, and then the next note that I'd say is like Kendall had been telling me for quite some time. Kendall's been brewing beer, you know, in all sorts of different formats for a number of years, and he had been telling me about the beer maker, and I was like, oh God, fine, whatever. I ended up buying it on my birthday this year. He sent me a code to get a discount on it, and I have just had so much fun.
They're fun.
Yeah, just brewing with it because, and this, I'm such a dork because I hate hand washing things, and the fact that most of it's dishwasher safe or disposable.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah.
It is so easy.
It's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the big problem of brewing your own beer is the cleanup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate that so much. So, yeah.
I love mine. I've been using mine for almost 2 years. I got it in December of 2020. So I've got a batch in there I need to keg up right now. But if you don't know, it does about 1.5 gallons at a time.
Yep.
But you start with real just grain, and so it's real brewing. But it's super cool.
Yeah, we've done 2 batches in ours. And,
Oh, you guys have one?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Well, once you got one, we're like, hell, we gotta get one.
Oh, that's
I
funny.
know. Sparky gets it done.
What's that porter that it won the awards? Like,
That's the one that we just did.
I forget the name of it. Yeah, but somebody has won an NHC gold medal on beers
Isn't that
brewed on
crazy?
a beer maker,
Yeah.
which is
Wow, that's
insane to think
I can't remember the name of that stout or a porter recipe, but it's
anything
so
was
good.
a selling point for it. That's kind of it right there. you
Yeah.
know? I think we're gonna do the wee heavy next. So
Awesome, man. Yeah, a lot of it's done really well on the darker beers, even some lighter ones too. But I mean, the stouts and
Yeah,
porters have
it does dark beers really well.
really
Yeah.
well. Great for this time of year. So yeah, that's been my year, and I just really it's been crazy because I've really abstained from drinking beer during the week. Like that's kind of my like weekend reward. That's when I'll like go raid the cellar and find the mistakes and have my enamel melted off my teeth, and or maybe be pleasantly surprised like this Hill Farmstead. But yeah,
You mean
Jester King. Excuse me. Sorry, Jester.
wait a minute.
I was thinking. No. I've actually got like a huge like 1.5 liter Hill Farmstead that I'm afraid to open because I hope it's good.
Fingers crossed.
I don't know, but it's a lot of beer to
That's- I
like.
was
There's one way to find out.
open
Yeah,
that
I
one in
know.
a crowd.
And actually, I've got a 3 liter supplication that's like
yeah.
5 or 6 years old, and like when
that'll
that's
be about perfect.
yeah, like but I need you guys to
He's
be
gotta-
present when
he's
we
gotta
pop
find
it.
the right- You got to find an event for that.
That is a lot of beer. Yeah, it takes 2 of me to carry the bottle, actually.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah,
Okay, well, speaking of this Jester King beer, everyone's thoughts on it?
I mean,
It's the closest thing to lamb you're going to get in America.
Yeah, I think so too.
100%.
Yeah, I think so too.
And I think the part about, we're all picking up fruit notes and there's no fruit, I think that really lends to how well it's made and how well they've utilized the mixed culture.
Well,
on
and
it.
how lucky they got with the yeast that decided to land in the cool ship.
exact surprise. This is what we
Here
get.
you go.
all that good stuff that blew in on the Texas wind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, big fan of all the spawns.
Well, and the cool part about Jester King too is that they have that farm right there that they're growing stuff on. So
you're getting all the
you're
good
getting local
things, yeah.
flora.
Did they
And
ever fix the parking lot?
That I don't know. It's been a few years since I've been there.
Yeah, and I'm thrilled to have Jester King back around because remember, like in the day, it was the big sweetheart, and you had to go out of state to get it. Now that it's around, and thank you for having it at the Winter Warmer. It was nice.
It was nice.
I mean, Le Petit Prince, like
I think the other one,
the Nocturnal.
Nocturne Chrysalis.
That
whatever.
was gorgeous too.
Forget the fruit
in
that
the
was in that.
gin
It was
barrel.
so
I
good.
think.
Yeah. But bringing them around again, they're still here. They're still doing beautiful things in Texas. And, it's a testament to a really good brewery that is like standing the test of time, so to speak.
Yeah.
Well, we are going to rate this particular spawn from 2017 from Jester King a big 5.
Nice. Kendall, do you have anything interesting to share with us?
I do. A story off the news wires.
You don't say.
That says the Baggate cheating scandal rocks the professional cornhole world.
Oh,
I had my cornhole rocked once. It was. It's not something
He's never been quite the same.
No, we don't talk about that.
Now watch out for your cornhole, Peter.
It's being called the greatest controversy in the history of the sport of cornhole.
Wow. I mean, that's big.
That's big.
With such a storied history as professional cornhole has.
So a cheating scandal dubbed Baggate has sent shockwaves across the professional cornhole world. It's hard to read this with a straight face.
I'm sorry.
Controversy sparked in August at 22 at the American Cornhole League World Championships in South Carolina. Devin Harbaugh filed a formal complaint against cornhole players Mark Richards and Philip Lopez, claiming the number 1 ranked doubles team used illegal beanbags. Oh, the humanity.
oh man, is nothing sacred
Thought
anymore?
the bags were too thin, Harbaugh
The
asserted.
bags are too thin.
Well, they were using white corn instead of number 2 corn. Like,
Oh yeah, that's such a classic.
it's all about the
Yeah.
corn. Yeah,
Their
classic
bags,
mistake.
their bags
Classic
were full of
mistake.
I think
cream
there was some
corn.
maize
That was the
thrown in
problem.
there.
So, a $15,000 purse was on the line where competitors
You're talking
tossed
real money now,
bags
buddy.
filled with
That's a lot of-
slanted boards approximately 27 feet apart.
Bags of money.
And importantly to know is after the complaint was filed, officials performed a bag inspection.
Sir, present your bag, please.
We're going to inspect it thoroughly.
It turns out none of the competitors were using compliant regulation size bags.
What kind of
Oh, come on.
what kind of
What's wrong with
dog
these
and
people?
pony show are they
Wow.
running here?
Wow.
You can't even have a legitimate cornhole
But
championship.
after the bag inspection, the officials determined there was no intentional violation. And so the ACL spokesperson alluded to the fact that some cheating might have taken place. He said, it's possible, but I'm pretty confident it wasn't
These
intentional.
boys just didn't know any better.
He says, I don't know how they became illegal size. We did not boil the bags. I don't know what that means, but the incident is now known as Baggate and has sparked conversations about implementing more strict regulations to prevent the use of non-compliant bags. I think that's about all you need to know right there. This story goes on for a while, but I think
Yeah.
we've got the gist of it.
Well, they're gonna tighten things up around the bags at some point.
Those
going forward.
those sudden bag inspections, especially when they're thorough.
Yeah.
Thorough bags.
You know, you get a couple guys coming up to you all of a sudden wanting to inspect your bag. I mean, it can make
Thoroughly.
you a little nervous.
It's true.
Yeah. Especially in South Carolina. Did everybody get one of these?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
there are already Gamecocks in South Carolina.
That's where you're starting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
They've definitely got to think about bags and
I mean,
Okay, we're done. Okay.
the story did say the best of them can make up to $250,000 a year throwing cornhole.
Really?
Yes,
That just shows you people have nothing to do.
Yeah.
exactly.
That's
drink
yeah.
beer and cornhole.
That's
Yeah.
a commentary.
There's a lot of sponsorship money in it, though, from Big Bag.
Yeah.
Big corn too.
Big corn.
Big corn.
Green Giant probably sponsors a lot of people.
ho.
Oh my gosh. That was great. Thank you.
Thank you,
Good
Kendall.
old boy
That was
Kendall.
very
That was very
informative.
informative. Yes, very informative.
Kendall pulled that out of his bag of tricks.
That he did. Okay. Moving on. Good old boy Sean.
We're
What
moving
you-
on. I don't know
what-
if we're moving up.
What you got for us?
Oh, good experiences I've had the past year. Let's start with my first visit to Monk's Cafe in Philadelphia.
Nice.
Why?
Never been there. Bucket list.
Oh my goodness! So to walk in and see Blind Pig and Pliny the Elder on draft,
That's a good first impression.
yeah. I was like, well, this is where we're starting. And then I looked down and spotted Hair of the Dog. So for those that don't know, and speaking of worst things to happen this year, Hair of the Dog in Portland, Oregon, Alan Sprintz decided
Yes.
to call it a retirement.
So
And fair
sad.
enough. But spying the Adam beer, which I've had before and love, I was like, well, what other Hair of the Dog do you have? And they came back with Fred, named after Fred Eckhart.
Nice.
Belgian Golden, as I recall. And first sip, oh my goodness, I just melted. My girlfriend took a sip at that point too, and she just went, oh wow. And so hats off to Alan for just not only remembering Fred with such a great beer, but just producing great beer to begin with. That was definitely one of my highlights, was getting to try that beer. And, if you come across it, get it while the going's good.
Yeah.
Other than that, the usual suspects. Bell's has been keeping my fridge full and, my daily drinking driver.
That's another guy called retirement, though, right?
Yeah, another guy that called retirement and sold out the same conglomeration that now owns New Belgium as well.
Everything.
So, yeah. Happy retirement to Larry. And also because of that, we have Hop Slam on the market earlier this year than ever.
That has been weird.
It is weird seeing, and it's been great to drink.
Yeah.
I just can't do that one.
No?
It's way too sweet for me.
Yeah, it's tamed down a little bit, but yeah, you're right. It's still definitely on that old school, some of that caramel malt, even though they do brew it with honey, which is going to dry some of that out. But so yeah, those were definitely some of the ones. And then the beer I have passed out to you all, Scratch Brewing, as always, one of my favorites. One of Caperton's favorites.
Really?
Yes.
I have definitely had some great moments at that brewery with him. So when I was there at Thanksgiving, I brought back the barrel-aged Blackberry and Lavender. And the story on this is it is 5.5% ABV, and it is a bottle-conditioned sour ale brewed without hops, bottled and flavored with Southern Illinois grown blackberries and lavender, and fermented with our Wild House mixed culture, aged for 1 year in red wine puncheon.
Nice.
Wow, it is beautiful.
It is really great. And the lavender, just like, it's not overpowering. It's
No.
like so subtle.
So subtle, and that's one of the things in their book, because there's a local farmer that is interested in doing some stuff with lavender, and I'm interested in brewing with it. And the problem is, it turns into soap really quick. Your beer can turn into soap.
Sure.
So yeah, to your point, like it's blended, and the blackberries I think just really help balance that out. So
it's
yeah,
perfect.
yeah.
I remember Julie and I went to Scratch one time with Caperton, and while we were there, he pulled out one of his special cigarettes, and I don't remember the ride home.
Well, at least he didn't pull a bag out of his cornhole. That's
true. That's true.
Because it could have gone that
hope
way.
not, yeah.
No.
I once had a neighbor give me some homemade soap with lavender in it, and it was a lavender bomb. It's like, I know I've had those beers that can go really bad really fast.
Yeah, I mean, it's just such a deadly weapon.
Yes,
Right?
Yeah.
A little bit goes a long way. Yeah.
And I'm always the person that I just put a little bit more in there.
Yeah.
3 garlic cloves? How about the whole bag?
I just love what Scratch does, and so many of their beers have no hops at all.
Yes.
It
Yeah.
just shows that even before people knew about hops hundreds of years ago, that there were other ways to bitter beer to counteract all the sweetness
Absolutely.
of the grain.
Yeah.
And this is a beautiful beer. It's not overly sweet at all.
It's not.
No, and it's got a nice tartness to it. That barrel age just comes through really nice as well.
Very
Yeah.
dry.
Yep, very
Well,
dry.
just like the knowledge they have about all the different ingredients, and really, if you think about they're just walking out in the woods and grabbing stuff and all this, and just the knowledge of how much to use and how things interact with each other all the way through the fermentation
Yes.
process, because
Yeah.
things change, and it's just really impressive.
As a brewer, for me, it's always exciting to go in there and see what they have on tap and what ingredients they're using, and then just to taste something like this and just go, okay, I've got some work to step up my game.
Back to the woodshed.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, we'll be back with more in just a brief minute. Welcome back, everyone. We are celebrating the end of another great year. Our 10th year, as a matter of fact. And we've been going around and talking about the best things that we've enjoyed for the year. And good old boy Sean was talking about this really beautiful blackberry
Lavender. Barrel aged.
and barrel aged in
a lot of bees.
red
wine
wine
puncheon.
puncheons. Yeah. Really, really beautiful. And then talking about Scratch. For me, this reminds me of Frausch. Yes, which is a beer from Scotland. Not so easy to find here, at least in this part of the United States. But what I love about Scratch is, and Frausch for that matter, is just that you don't need to have hops to have something that gives you that bittering quality and that gives it that really beery flavored beer, but on a different level. Yeah. And going to Scratch, it's so cool because you don't know what you're going to get and what you're going to be thrown at. There was this mushroom beer that I had when we were there last that tasted like peanut butter brickle, right?
Well,
it was crazy.
Well, it also tasted like the one that tasted like roasted chicken, the Hen of the Woods.
Yes.
The Hen of the Woods Scotch Ale. And so it's a mushroom that tastes like roasted
You could use that as a base to make a Nashville hot chicken beer.
Ooh.
You could.
Wouldn't that be cool? No, but it was good.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Sparky is not having it. Sparky is like, if you could see this face on Sparky's face,
All right, fine.
Just because you can do something.
Okay.
doesn't mean you should.
Fine. Okay. back to the beer from scratch. What do we all think of it? And let's rate it.
I think we would rate it a this.
We're going to do that. Yep. Okay. We're going to rate this beautiful beer a 5. Thank you, Sean, for bringing this.
Good job, Sean.
I've never been there. I need to go up.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's-
good old boy Mike's been up there a few times, and I went up there a few times with good old boy Caperton. So Kendall, we need to make this
it's a
happen.
good day
Timmy's
trip.
a big
Yeah.
fan of it
And
too.
Tim's been up there as a number of times as well. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Timmer.
Good old boy Dave. What do you got for us?
So don't really have a favorite beer because I usually don't remember beers long after I drink them. But it's for me this year's been more about styles, and I've been really excited about how breweries are embracing lagers more the last couple years. We always obviously talked about Suarez family recently. We've talked about Dovetail, and just it feels like a lot of the breweries that Lone Oak and everything, like a lot of these breweries are really getting back into taking the extra time it takes to make a lager, and really embracing the cleanness. We've had a lot of really good Czech lagers, the light Czech lagers, dark, amber, all the different Czech lagers, Pilsners. I mean, I've had more Pilsners this year than I probably have in the last decade. Even the Winter Warmer Festival here in Nashville recently, I mean, every brewery brought like big beers, and then they would bring like a small lighter beer. And I drank probably in a festival where I usually drink more barrel-aged stouts, I drank more Pilsners at the Winter Warmer this year than I did anything else.
Drank a lot of the lager.
Yeah, and they were all really good.
You like it, the lager?
Love it. Yes, I'm a lumberjack, and I'm okay.
That's the thing. When you started, you said breweries are welcoming lagers. I thought you said lagers. So.
Yeah.
We need more
They've been
lumberjacks.
discriminating against them for far too
men
long.
in plaid shirts, need to feel more comfortable going into craft breweries, because that's been a thing.
Yeah.
And so I love that. I would say that there are a couple of places I've been with Juliana this year that really stood out. One of the best beer stores I've been into in a long time was Sabatini's in Exeter, Pennsylvania. So it's near Scranton. Great bottle shop, man. They had a cool bar. The people knew the products they had. The selection was incredible, like international beers plus tons of local stuff. They had J.W. Lee's Harvest Ales from 2001, 2002.
Oh, wow.
And I definitely picked some up because those are some of the best years you can get that beer. And so...
Speaking of beers that age well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
Exactly, right.
Yeah, that's not a dream pour.
So, and it was just like this unassuming little place, which started out as a pizza place. They bought another building across the parking lot, turned it into probably one of the best bottle shops you'll find in the Northeast.
So does the pizza suck, or like
Pizza's pretty good.
Okay.
The pizza's good.
The pizza's good.
And
for Pennsylvania pizza.
And luckily for them, excuse you?
I love you.
Whatever. Rude.
The fight is on.
The fight is on.
It's never off. That's the thing.
Because pizza's a big thing in northeastern Pennsylvania. Old Forge.
But they don't
to be
put
exact.
meat on it.
No, we don't need meat. You don't need it.
Okay, so
You don't
wow,
need
agree to disagree.
Not for this. No, not for this style pizza.
yeah,
But it's
okay.
different. No, it's unlike anything you've had down here in the South.
Well, that's what we say about things that we don't like sometimes. Well, I've never tasted anything like that before.
Bless your heart.
Yeah.
So,
Whatever.
Well, that's something
Anyway.
else.
Okay, so
well, that's another story for another day.
yes, it is. It is. But
But yeah, Sabatini's was amazing. But what I had poured for you guys is a little while ago we did a show about Dovetail Brewing out of Chicago.
One of my favorites.
And if you want to talk about like traditional German style brewing, these guys both the two owners, they met in Germany while they were getting their master of brewing degree. And the Helles Lager, I think, is one of the best examples of the style.
Good.
Yeah.
And like when we tried that flight, like it was one of the most solid flights we'd had this year. So
Yeah.
here's to Dovetail, here's to lagers. And I think this was a great year for it.
Yes. And I think we, any quick thoughts from the rest of the peeps about
Kendall
this
loves
beer?
Helles. So
Yeah,
what do
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just give me a Helles and I'm
Helles,
happy.
yes.
Even an average Helles makes me happy. An extraordinary Helles just puts me over the moon.
If this is Helles, I'm here for it.
I know, right?
to Helles and back.
That little hint of sweetness on it gets me every time. It just makes me so happy.
Thank you for putting us on the highway to Helles.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Sounds like a show idea.
It's coming, folks. Season 11. No. Yeah, this is beautiful. I mean, any day of the week, it's great. Yeah. And really well crafted. We are going to rate the Helles Lager from Dovetail a 5.
I wanted to go quickly because Juliana has 7 besties. So.
Okay, I don't have 7. I have 2.
Teen.
I just have 2.
Plus 4 bonuses.
2.
Three
So
best in show.
while I'm going to be talking, the first beer that is looking orange juicy to you guys
Okay,
at the
all right.
table
Yeah.
is from Bissell Brothers, and it is
yeah.
called Reciprocal. It's a double dry hopped IPA,
Do those guys still make beer?
7.3% IB.
That's weird. Yeah.
Are they making beer flavored beer is the question.
I
Okay.
thought they made vacuums.
Ouch.
Ooh.
Rude. Yeah, okay. I had to take, since the lockdown really inhibited me, from being able to have time off of work to go and do things, but then also so many things were shut down, right? So this was the first year that I actually was able to spread my wings again and go to places that I've been wanting to go to and couldn't get to, and visiting a lot of new breweries in my home state and the surrounding Maryland, New Jersey, New York area that I've been wanting to for a while and just haven't been able to, due to constrictions. So this was just great getting out there. Being near the Jersey Shore, being in Baltimore, being just near the water and near friends and near some really good beer flavored beer. You know what I mean? So the lone oak that we had earlier was from my trip to Maryland, and a beautiful place to go for a beer. Their backyard is just this big wide open space. They have tents that you can actually sit in. Like the tents are so big that you can have a table in there, and then they have an outdoor stage. So
Could you have a carnival in the tents?
No, but it's intense.
Oh, yes. Hey-oh.
Wow. But you can, live shows there are really great. I'm going to disregard that. And you can sit in the tent and have some beer and have some food while you're enjoying the live music, which is really great. And a lot of these other breweries that I've been to this year, their outdoor spaces were really nice. And to me, that's what it's all about, right?
It sounds like this was all very intentional.
You're cute.
The intent.
All right. So one of the things that I was able to have a decent amount this year was a Bissell Brothers. And this was one of the breweries that has been on my bucket list of I keep hearing the hype and I'm like, well, maybe they're all right. Maybe it's just meh. But I've actually really enjoyed. So this is one of them. The other one that I have, because I can't.
We should
Oh.
probably,
Well, I'm just discussing. I'm just saying what I have at the table first.
Well, I'm just saying
and then we'll.
what I'm saying.
Okay, fine. All right. If we were to discuss and rate this one from Bissell Brothers, the Reciprocal.
Because Dave insists.
Because Dave insists. What do you guys think of it? Besides it being really juicy.
I like it. It's a hazy IPA, but it's not overpowering on your palate. It actually cleans off, gets a little crisp, and clears out. And there's actually bitterness there, which is what I love.
I like
hazy.
that. That's the best part about the beer.
Yes.
Yeah, how's that
Yeah.
even a thing?
It happens occasionally.
Let's get back to the Alchemist. They're the ones who I think introduced hazy but bitter still.
Yeah, Sean loves hazy boys.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Totally loves them.
Yeah, and that's why I liked and enjoyed this one so much, is that it wasn't too over the top.
Yeah.
Cool.
I only enjoy
it.
my hazy boys intense.
Intense hazy boys.
Intentionally intense.
Banned once again.
Sweet. Okay.
And once again,
So the Reciprocal Double Dry Hopped IPA from Bissell Brothers, we are going to rate a 4. You're cute. Okay. Next is this hidden treasure in Maryland that I was so jazzed about. And
Washington,
get-
D.C.?
Did you get jazz hands?
That was going to be my question.
I did have jazz hands. And good old boy Kendall, you were on this episode, weren't you?
I was.
Okay. So, Totes Ma Oats from Crooked Crab.
That's delicious.
It's an oatmeal stout. Now, okay, you're going to say to me, well, Julia, it's just an oatmeal stout.
Hey, Julia. This is just an oatmeal stout.
But it's a friggin' delicious oatmeal stout.
Darn.
Hey, this is a delicious oatmeal stout.
Yeah, darn near perfect.
It's scrumptulescent, actually.
Well, and to me, this just beckons back to the whole the Pilsners and all these styles that have been missed for a while.
Oh.
It
Well,
touches me in
you're right.
all my special places.
No, but they.
He is on fire today.
Yeah.
He is.
He's on triple secret.
Stick around for the 11 o'clock show,
Triple
folks.
secret
It's a
probation.
little blue.
But when was the last time you had a really good oatmeal stout?
I love a great oatmeal stout. I feel like just the creaminess, we're used to the traditional, but nobody's making them anymore.
It's like maybe Samuel Smith's is one of the better.
Like a
stout.
reference standard.
Yeah, I
Sure.
feel like they're just
Sure.
getting started. I know they're a newer kind of,
brewery.
yeah, but
They're
maybe
trying to figure it out.
Yeah, they'll
Sure.
stick the landing one of these days.
Yeah.
But this is delightful. I mean, this is just so lovely. Thank you for bringing this.
This brewery makes so many good beers.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
so good.
stupid.
Yeah. I think everything, well, and I'm saying everything because it was in a random Maryland hall, but I happened to have 3 of these beers because I'm not going to lie, it was the can art that kind of drew me in. But then the guy at the store said, oh yeah, these guys are up and coming and I actually like them. And I'm like, okay, cool.
Crooked Crab.
Yeah, they made a really good Pilsner.
Solid beers. But
Yeah.
I think what you're saying about this one is absolutely right. I don't think I've had an oatmeal stout in years. I feel like I just haven't seen them. People aren't brewing them. And I remember why I love them so much. It's
Yeah.
a beautiful
Yeah.
style.
It's like a
great
forgotten
presentation of
because
a
everybody
stout.
wants to make a
Roasty, creamy, still just, ugh.
Well,
Right.
when people make
Lactose infused.
when people make a
Packs
stout
of
now,
cereal and cookies.
yeah,
right,
or
right.
they want to make an imperial barrel aged stout that's
Full of maple
17%. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ain't
just-
nobody got time for that.
that's right.
Well, no. I mean, and I think we've had so much
You save your oatmeal for breakfast.
excessive flavor, for the past couple
Yeah.
years. Be it excessively soured or kettle soured or lactose laden.
Get back to the beer.
Yeah, that
Thank you seriously for bringing this in because I used to love oatmeal stouts and it's not even a thing anymore.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Yes.
It's a shame.
So
This is delightful.
Touch Sparky in his special places.
Warmed his cockles.
It was intense.
Yes.
wow.
Bag
okay.
check.
What would you guys like to rate the Totes Ma Oats?
Yeah, well,
Oh, we're going 5. Okay. God, that was long.
was. That's
Well,
what she said.
that's going to do it for a really great episode and the end of season 10.
a great season. Wow. We really
which
appreciate you
I
guys.
still can't get over. Yes.
It is hard to believe. Yeah.
Yes,
10
yes,
seasons.
yes. Cheers to all of us for making it through another trip around the sun.
Cheers.
And
Rest
You
in
know?
peace, good old boy Caperton.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
buds.
man.
yes,
We miss you, man.
Gonna miss
we're
him
going to
so
miss you
much.
every
Already
time
do.
we record. Yes. And every day. Well, okay. Good old boy Kendall, thanks for being here today and sharing your beer.
It's been a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Please tell us about your blog.
My beautiful wife and I blog about the good news of good beer at beermakes3.com.
Bye, June. We miss you. You should come visit us. Good old boy Sparky.
Thanks for having me. I'm really looking forward to the 20th episode, 20th year episode.
20th episode, yeah.
Good old boy Sean.
Great to be here as always, and always good to share good beer.
Good old boy Dave.
Thanks, guys. Here's to 10 more good years.
This is good old gal Juliana. Keep on chuggling and catch you next time.
We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you're listening to us online, do yourself a favor and tap the subscribe button.
Give it a little tappy. Tap, tap, tap-a-roo.
The easiest way to listen to our show is to ask Siri, Alexa, Google, Uncle Larry, or whoever it is that talks to you on your phone, play podcast Sip, Suds, and Smokes. We love your feedback, and you can reach us at info@sipsudsandsmokes.com. Our tasting notes flow out on Twitter and Instagram with our handle @SipSudsAndSmokes, and our Facebook page is always buzzing with lots of news. You'll also be able to interact with the thousands,
Millions and millions
of other fans on those social media platforms. Do us a favor. Take the time to rate this episode if you're listening to us online. That's a big help to us, and we get to see your feedback as well. Come back, join us for another episode, and keep on sipping.
This has been a One Tan Hand production of Sip, Suds, and Smokes, a program devoted to the appreciation of some of the finer slices of life. From the Dude in the Basement Studios, your hosts, the Good Old Boys, will see y'all next time.